Mr. Bryce is LSU guy, so we can kick it off there. Lane Kiffin, man, are you
First of
ready?
all, let me preference this.
Here
This
we go.
motherfucker has never been to Louisiana.
Actually, I have a picture of me at Louisiana State University, all right, outside the stadium.
He's never stepped foot in the stadium.
Not yet, not yet. But the biggest LSU fan, probably known the man.
So how are you feeling about the Lane Kiffin shit? You think he's the guy to take y'all to the promised land again?
I do. I mean, he's arguably the best offensive mind in college football. Everyone wants to talk about his exit. I don't care about his exit. I want him to win ball games. You know what I mean? Like I don't care that he left USC and Tennessee and all that. That's all in the past. If he does leave for an NFL job eventually because he gets that itch, that's fine. Give me 10-win seasons, 11-win seasons. I'm okay with that. But he's bringing a bag and it's Louis, like Deion Sanders said. So I'm excited for it. If Trinidad Chambliss, the Ole Miss quarterback, gets granted another year because he only played 2 games as a D2 player, so he should have been granted a red shirt. So he's fighting for that now. But yeah, I'm ready for it. He's all in. He's gonna bring Coach O back, get that
Yeah.
Louisiana accent back. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, Chambliss is nice, bro. He had a great year at Ole Miss. He honestly played like one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. That'd be a cheat code. Maybe Kawan Lacey too coming over. That'd be nasty.
Hey,
But
you know where Lane Kiffin found Trinidad Chambliss?
where?
Twitter. That's how good of a coach he is. And I watch stats all day. Ole Miss they've had maybe 8 players drafted in the first 4 rounds. So he was able to do that with those players versus LSU has had 14 and they've been god awful over the last couple years. So if he can do that with that, man, he's bringing Louis. So
I got something to say on the topic. I don't have any problem with what Lane Kiffin did. I think he's doing what's best for him. And go chase the money. Whatever you got to do. My problem is with LSU. Haven't we read this book before? Brian Kelly leaves Notre Dame, leaves him on bad terms, leaves him high and dry. Isn't there a level of karma that we're experiencing with these coaches leaving in bad terms with this particular program?
So, yes, but the difference is when Lane Kiffin left, everyone wanted Lane Kiffin to stay in Ole Miss. They fought for him to stay in Ole Miss. When Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, fans were like, good riddance.
See
Have fun with him. And Brian Kelly was too antiquated. Like he couldn't survive in today's game, whereas Lane Kiffin he is the transfer portal king. He's able to recruit. He's a fun guy, but at the same time, he's a trailblazer in the sense he's the first one to leave a playoff school. So the NCAA or the college football is gonna adjust to it. I think they're gonna get to the point where coaches are not allowed to leave midseason, but they have to
yeah,
fix the calendar.
that was a huge debacle. Like he wanted to coach still the playoff team through the playoff
Mhm.
run and shit. Motherfuckers, like there was like players on Twitter on Ole Miss was like, oh, that's not what he was saying in the meetings and shit. Like
Oh shit.
what were you guys' thoughts on how he exited? Because he was like, oh, if I can't coach the playoff run, I'm taking everybody.
I think there's reports that say, from both sides. Lane is saying he didn't do that. Players and coaches and athletic directors are saying he did. Again, as an LSU fan, if he wants to leave us in the same fashion, like I said, win some ball games. I think people get too bogged down by the person, the personableness and the personality of college football. At the end of the day, it's about winning ball games and winning championships. So
Yeah.
Well, there's in no other sport can you reference head football coaches in political positions like this. Like this is politics. Like this is
Yeah, it is.
this is like a governor trying to get elected or a presidential campaign. Like these are and by all means, the state of Ole Miss, the state of Mississippi, Lane Kiffin is a bigger political figure than any other politician in that state. higher paid too. And, from the perspective of the athletic directors and from the governor and all of those people are that their jobs are contingent on whether or not that football team is good. So
Yeah.
I don't believe anything what they say. I don't care what they say. You know what I mean? I listen to what the players say. There's no way as Lane Kiffin, in my opinion, and what I've seen and what I've heard from other things in college football, would he leave those players high and dry like that?
Yeah.
I think he genuinely wanted to coach still, even though he knew he was making a decision that was going to affect the years to come with those players. So,
And I'll say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Lane Kiffin saw blood in the water, essentially, like with the $25 million revenue share, with the Deloitte being the third party, where things have to go through them to see if it's fair market share. He smelled blood in the water. I think we're going to get back to a blue chip kind of school, just dynamic, like where you have your Alabamas and everything, because the playing field is essentially leveled now. So who would you rather go to, University of Illinois or University of Alabama? Because you can't just throw $5 million at a player because you want them, because now it has to be equal to fair market share. So essentially, going back to what I was saying, Lane Kiffin smelled blood in the water. Go be a blue chip coach. Don't coach at Ole Miss. Ole Miss doesn't have blue chip players.
the difference with you throwing $5 million at a player in Alabama is still, you still have to consider that there are other $5 million players that you're going to have to compete against at a place like Alabama or LSU. Rather, when University of Illinois, if they throw you $5 million, or like let's just say $3 or $4 million, and you're good with that, you're not going to have to compete with another $3 or $4 million guy. You're going to be the guy,
Yeah.
and they're putting a lot of they're risking a lot on you, which as a 5-star recruit, 4-star recruit should make you feel good. But yeah, man, it's gonna be Moneyball. It already is Moneyball, and we'll see how Lane Kiffin does it at the biggest blue chip of them all, one of the biggest blue chips of them all.
To put it in perspective, Ole Miss just had their best crowd ever, 68,000 people, sold out the stadium. Everyone, it was a history. LSU played that same day at 5-4 or whatever, and they had 100,000 people in the stands.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a difference to this, and he said it with that money backing me and this logo on my chest and that stadium. He's like, the sky's the limit. So I agree.
Yeah.
They're a blue blood.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he's going to bring a chip? I mean, every LSU coach that's come in, Ed Orgeron, well, minus Brian Kelly, has won a chip in LSU.
Yeah. I think it's possible. I mean, the offense has been the Achilles heel this year. So if you insert a great mind in offensive mind, then why not? I look at I equate it to the Bears, because obviously I'm a Bears fan and an LSU fan. You see what Ben Johnson did. You insert an offensive mind, let the defense kind of handle themselves, and or get a defensive staff. You're cooking.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Watch out, 100%.
Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.